All right, y'all, I'm back in the chair, and today I'm doing a very entry level, beginner friendly hairstyle called Marley twists. Marley twists are done with Cuban twist hair, and it's perfect if you are trying to get used to adding false hair to your hair. So, you know how to braid, you know how to twist, but you've just never worked with synthetic hair or added any hair to yours. You're in the perfect place. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it so that you can look like you just stepped out of the salon. All right, so let's first talk about why this is such a good hairstyle for beginners. Number one, when you braid the root. So I do my Marley twist by braiding at the root. The first time I did them, I didn't do that, and they didn't last as long as I would have liked them to because twists are just a lot looser. So you want to secure that root with a little bit of a braid, maybe like braiding an inch down will suffice. And it's going to keep that root in place, and it's going to keep the braids from slipping, or the twist from slipping down. So we're going to secure the root with a little bit of a braid, but that braid doesn't have to be perfect. So that's why these Marley twists are really good if you're not used to adding false hair. The braid, there's a lot of room for imperfection here. Number one, with the puffy hair, it's a lot more forgiving than the stretched Kanekalon hair. So it kind of hides and conceals those imperfections. And with you braiding the root, if you are going to do just straight up knotless, there is no room for error. You're going to see everything. So if you're braiding all the way to the tip, you have to make sure those braids are perfect. And there's a lot of room for error there. But when you're doing these twists and you just need to do a little bit of a braid, then it's going to be a lot easier for you. Also, like I said, the twists, they're just more forgiving. They're a lot easier to do. You're working with 2 sections versus working with 3 sections. So this is just going to be a lot easier on you. It's going to be a lot easier on your hands. You're not going to get as frustrated with doing these. You're not going to have to keep taking them down and putting them back in because if you've already been twisting, twisting is so easy, and this hair just so closely mimics natural hair. Also, it doesn't take as much time. If this is your first time working with hair, you are gonna go a little bit slower. This probably, if I wasn't recording, it probably would have taken me maybe 3 to 4 hours. But since this is your first time, you're gonna attach the hair a little bit slower. You're gonna be a little bit, fumbling around with your hands. You're just not gonna be as precise as someone who's done it over and over again. So you want to start out with something a little bit easier and that's not going to take as much time so that you don't get frustrated and give up. Now, what I want you to keep in mind when you're adding each section of hair is that you want these to last. So the braid at the root is the most important part. Don't speed through that part. Take your time and make sure you're grabbing it nice and tight. And I'm going to give you a detailed tutorial at the end and show you exactly how I do this close up. But first, I just want to set the stage and give you all of the information about these twists before I give you that in-depth tutorial. So you want to make sure when you are attaching the hair that you're taking your time, you're gripping it as tightly as possible, because if you do them properly, they can last so much longer. You don't want the braids to slip down. You don't want to waste your money. You don't want to waste your time. So don't speed through that part. And I know it's tempting because you want to get it done, but make sure you're taking your time. You have a lot of time on your hands. Get you a good show going or listen to some music, whatever helps you to stay at ease, and just take your time. Where is the fire? Next, I want to talk to you about the hair. So this Cuban twist hair, when you go into the store, you will see different versions of this hair. I bought the Shake and Go Cuban twist hair, and the one that I got actually has 3 packs in it. I don't know if you remember my haul when I did my hair store haul, but I actually bought 2 packs in Georgia, and I ended up needing a little bit more than 2 packs. So I had to end up using part of a bundle from a 3 pack. So now I have enough to actually do this hairstyle all over again, but you need a little bit more than 2 packs. So I would say go ahead and just buy the 3 pack. It's $14.99 where I live, and you can actually get it online for $14.99. Don't buy it off of Amazon. It's a lot more expensive on Amazon. So this hair is pre-sectioned. It's pre-sectioned. So if you are doing the same size that I'm doing, then it'll be perfect sections for the size twist that I'm doing. If you want your hair to be a little bit more dense, you can do these parts a little bit smaller. But I'd say if you are a bit beginner, you might want to just do the sections as large as I'm doing them, just to get your feet wet, okay? Don't start off with them small sections and bite off more than you can chew. I also really like that this hair is so natural looking and it just feels natural in my hands. It's a lot easier to do than the pre-stretched connect line. That is harder on your hands because the hair has more slip to it and you can see more of the imperfections in the hair. So I would recommend doing Marley twists versus doing I want to say they're called Senegalese twists when you do them with the pre-stretched connect line. So this is going to be a lot more forgiving, as I said, with the kinky hair, the Cuban twist hair versus pre-stretch hair. And this is a great alternative to that bulk human hair. I've used that before, but it is quite expensive. And someone in one of my videos where I did that, the same video where I did the haul, they were asking like, why is this hair so expensive? Which I totally understand. I don't even think that I would be willing to pay that for that hair because unless I had some sort of sensitivity to synthetic fibers, I would not be paying for that bulk human hair. All of that hair was gifted to me. And yes, it's nice hair. Yes, it, responds to water in a way that your natural hair would. It has a nice taper. I will say that it does have a nice taper versus this hair, but for the price difference, I don't see enough of a benefit for me to pay that price. So if you're not wanting to pay that price for the bulk human hair, this is a great alternative. If you do have a sensitivity to synthetic fibers, then you have to get the pricier bulk hair, the bulk human hair. Now, do y'all see how large my sections are? Look at that. Those sections are pretty big, and there's some reasons for that. Now, my edges are very sensitive. I have a lot of like little fine baby hairs, and the hair around the perimeter of my head is just a lot finer. So I want to protect my edges. My forehead is big enough. I'm not trying to have my edges slipping back anymore. I want my hairline to stay where it's at. So we're doing large sections. That is going to prevent any unnecessary breakage on the perimeter of your hair, on your hairline. Also, these larger sections, like I said, much more beginner friendly. Don't bite off more than you can chew. And you're also just more likely to take care of your scalp if you do these larger sections because it's so easy to get in there when you can kind of see your scalp a little bit better. If you have 20 pounds of hair in your head and you have to do all of this parting to put your oil drops on your scalp, you're probably not going to do it maybe once a week. I know I wouldn't do it. So just doing these sections larger is just better for protecting your hair because you're more likely to care for your scalp and it's not so heavy on your hair. It's not dragging your hair down and it's not breaking off your edges. So many great benefits to doing these sections a little bit bigger. And the product that I'm using, if you've noticed, is my Braid and Slick Gel. Now, if you've never watched any of my videos, I do have a full line of hair care products, and this Braid and Slick Gel is a part of that line. I have everything from shampoo and conditioner to hair oil, grease, conditioning curl creams, all types of products, and I'm always adding to my line of products. So this Braid and Slick Gel that I'm using is now made with castor oil. I'm so proud and happy about that because not only is this going to slick your hair down and make your style look so much better and neater, but you're not sacrificing the health of your hair. This is a conditioning hair gel. So it's no harsh ingredients. It's not breaking off your hair. It's not making your hair super hard like a spritz would. It is a conditioning gel. So it's softening your hair as it's styling your hair, and you're also not giving up any of the style benefits because as you see, this is slicking down my hair really nicely. So it's the perfect balance of softening properties and holding properties, and I'm quite proud of it. If you want to grab it, you can go to kellyloganhair.com and make sure you use the code YouTube15 so you can get 15% off your first order. Y'all, I've been really hard on my hair this summer, the spring and summer. I was doing a lot of little slick back styles because I just love a slick back. There is something that is just so addictive and so sleek about a slick back. I love it. And once you put your hair in a slick back, it's like it just gets stuck there for several weeks. So I was doing slick backs. I did the two slick backs. I was doing twisted style with the rubber bands, and oh my goodness, my hair is just screaming for dear life. So I kept my last set of boho braids in for at least like 8 weeks. And I'm planning to leave these twists in for as long as possible. If I can leave these in for 3 months, that would be my ideal. I want to leave these in as long as possible so that I can get my hair back to where I know it can be if I'm treating it right and protecting it properly. Because I do have very breakage prone hair. I'm not one of those people who can just do whatever to their hair and their hair will survive. My hair needs to be treated with some extra TLC. So that's what I'm going to give her. And I'm taking a break from all of those like molded styles with rubber bands. I think after about 4 to 6 weeks, once it starts getting a little bit old, I'm actually going to add some boho to it. I think that would be super cute. I don't know if I would add it to the ends or all throughout, but just stay tuned for something special with these because with these being in my hair for so long, I know I'm going to get bored and I'm going to want to add something to it. So I think the boho especially is good once it starts looking a little bit aged. All right, y'all, so let's get into the in-depth tutorial. I'm going to show you really close up exactly how I got this done. So if you're not much of a visual learner and you need someone to talk you through it, and I'm also going to give you a closer look into my hair. So I just wanted to talk to you guys and update you guys and let you know all of the details about this hairstyle so that you can get hype about it. And I really hope you guys try it. If you want to join me on this hair journey throughout it's probably going to go throughout the winter time. I said that I wanted to go just to fall, but I think I'm going to go all the way through the new year to try to get a lot of new growth and retain a ton of length because I keep saying that and then I get the length and then I start doing slick backs and stuff again. So this time I'm going to stick to it and not just get excited when I have like a couple inches of growth. So let's get into this tutorial. I'm gonna repeat a lot of the things that I said in this voiceover, but I'm very sorry about that. But I will see you in the next one and stay tuned for this tutorial. Bye, y'all. All right, so we're in the final stretch, genuinely the best part. Let me just remind you that if you're not using the best braid and slick gel on the market, what are you doing? Okay? Your hairstyles are gonna be a lot neater. Your hair is gonna be a lot more conditioned. It now has castor oil. I don't know what else you guys want from me, okay? But yeah, this is a great formula. It's nice and soft, so it spreads throughout your hair really easily. I don't like a really hard gel. I know some people do, but I like a really soft gel so that it spreads in your hair easily, but we're not sacrificing any hold over here because it's still going to get your hair held in place. The only thing is you just have to make sure that you comb it in and work it in until it starts to dry and get tacky. You want to make sure that you're putting product on every section, every side of the section so that you can put that section in the middle. This is a really thick section, so this is gonna put my braid and slick gel to the test. This is gonna give you those nice flat roots. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, this was done 2 days ago. I started this 2 days ago and then like just forgot I was doing my hair. I don't know. But yeah, so this has been like this for 2 days. No flaking. That is the best thing about my braid and lye gel is that it doesn't flake. That's the one thing that I don't like a lot about a lot of braid gels. Before I had formulated my braid gel, I obviously had to use other braid gels and they were either too oily or they left my hair with flakes. And this one does neither. Obviously, since it does have a film forming ingredient in there, it does have the potential to flake. However, you will really have to misuse this product in order to make it flake. If your hair is clean and you're just using a little bit, the amount that's needed to get your hair slick, then you should be good. It is very user friendly and I love it. So yeah, this is a very thick section of hair, and let me show you how it's gonna slick. Like please. So many great benefits to this gel. It's a conditioning gel. It's not just one of those, it's not a harsh gel, no harsh ingredients. And your style is gonna look super neat. So if you wanna grab this, get it at kellyloganhair.com. Make sure you use the code YouTube15 if you want 15% off of your first order. All right, so let's get this done. You hold the section like this, okay? And you wanna make sure that you have this just a small bit in the middle. And you want to make sure that you also have your index and your thumb free on both hands, because you're going to need your index and thumb on both hands in order to put it on. So you just start braiding. This is a great entry-level hairstyle. This is a great entry-level hairstyle if you've never added false hair to your own hair. So you wrap, okay, let me do that again. So you're gonna wrap this section around your hair, and your hair is essentially gonna become the third section of hair. So you wrap that around. You want to, once you approach your hair, you wanna grab your hair with your index finger and thumb on one of the sections, whichever you decide, whichever feels more comfortable. And then you're just gonna wrap the fake hair around your hair and go in with your other index finger around the back to the front and grab that other section of hair. So now you should end up with both sections of false hair in one hand, and then that frees up your other hand to grab your hair. And then you just start braiding like you usually would. You're gonna start braiding, and you're gonna braid that down maybe like 6 or 7 times. So you wanna wait until your section of hair is in the middle. That is the most natural spot to split it in half. Split it in half between the two false hair sections, and then you just start twisting. And then what I like to do is just add a little bit more of my braid and slick gel to the length of my hair in order to blend that section, to blend my hair in with the false hair. Especially once you get to the end, because you don't want your hair to be poking out. Also, you want to make sure you're rolling as you go. So you roll and then twist, roll and then twist. And you twist to the end. These sections are kind of like at the end, they have a little part where it connects, and you just want to break that up so that you can actually twist all the way to the end and the ends don't unravel easily. Boom, just get rid of that. And as I said, this is the perfect entry-level style. I don't know if I said it yet, but this is a perfect entry-level style if you don't know how to braid well, if you've never braided with false hair, because it is a little bit of a learning curve to be able to braid well with when adding hair to your own hair. So if you only ever braided your own hair, this is a good entry-level style because you're twisting, and twisting is much more forgiving than braiding. When you're braiding, you need you need it to be neat. It's hard to get it neat if you haven't done it for a while. So this is a good way to work your way into braiding with false hair. And also this Cuban twist hair is a lot more forgiving than just regular pre-stretched Kanekalon hair. And you can do this with just braiding hair, normal braiding hair, but this hair fluffs up and just hides any of those imperfections. So I like to use the Cuban twist hair. And it also just looks a lot more like my hair. It doesn't look so smooth and shiny. It looks a lot more like my natural hair. So honestly, if I really wanted to, I can make this look much more natural and just make it look like my hair.